And today I will be reacting to no jumper shut down by the feds or the Crips. And was Mav Hoffa, in my expert opinion, shut down by the dirty section of YouTube? You're going to find out today, you know what I mean? It's a lot going on YouTube, man. These are like two of the biggest podcasts. My expert opinion hit 1 million. I think Adam 22 probably has over 1 million subscribers. So this is big news right here. Let's start East Coast, West Coast. We got an East Coast with Mav Hoffa and what they was doing over here. Then you had Adam 22 over there on the West Coast. I'm gonna start on the West Coast and I'm gonna bring it back east after that. You know what I'm saying? So Adam 22, he comes up there. Yo, DBN, salute, what up, man? Should have been out of wrench, man. Let me get you. Adam 22, he goes up there and talks about Jose Montalvo, what up? He goes up there and talks about, salute the people, man, free the people, you already know. He goes up there and talks about, going broke, and he made all his money. Personally, I think that is cap. Adam 22 is lying. I think between the pressure from the feds and all the question they've been doing about him, they asking him about videos, they trying to see if he edited out worse stuff. I know they try to they went to his computers. I know they took a lot of his stuff. He came up here and told some things, but I don't think he's just being straightforward with his fans and the people of YouTube. I don't think he's being straightforward about what they did, because they're going to come with some questions and they're going to ask some questions, but then they're going to come with subpoenas. If they think you have information, if they think you have some information or something, they're just going to just come and grab your computers. They're going to come and grab your stuff, and they're going to take it and they're going to see what's on there for themselves, right? We all understand and know now, when we have these computers and all this stuff, that stuff never leaves your computer. It's still on there. It's somewhere, and they can, if they have the computer, if they have your phone or whatever, they can find what was on there in the unedited version. I think now that information is pretty easy, and it's pretty easy for them to get this information if he was willing to share the information itself, or they did it by force and went in there and did the whole thing. I think Adam 22 folded like a futon. I think he already folded. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, I think with the size, what you got to understand in America, these organizations that become so big, a lot of that is government assisted. A lot of that stuff is government assisted and it's government approved. You're not going to get all this money in America right now without things being approved by the government and the federal government. I think he did his job, you know what I'm saying? As far as what the podcast was there to do, he took some guys down. They wanted some big fish on the West Coast, and he got them. So I think he did his job. If he got paid for that, or Whack 100 or whoever I think Whack 100 got paid for the work he's been doing up here on YouTube. But they took a lot of people down. They took a lot of people down that had been on their show. So he is so connected. He is so connected with the streets, and the gang culture in the West Coast. And due to the stuff that they said on his podcast, all these guys got this RICO case. I don't think that's sitting too well with those gang guys over there in the West Coast. I'm just being honest. I don't know personally. Nobody told me this, but just my thinking, I think they thinking yo, man, y'all dudes is no good. Y'all got to pack it up and get out of town because y'all sent the big homies down. Y'all sent the big homie down. They was up here going hard for y'all, holding it down with y'all, and y'all sent everybody to jail. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're helping those guys with legal fees or if they supporting those guys or not, as far as Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, guys that were actually a part of the Adam 22 podcast. But I know them dudes on the West Coast, they got to be side-eyed him. Yo, listen, you got to come up with something. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You stay woke. What up? Yo, grown man biz. What up? But I think to a certain point, when they got guys coming up here divulging stuff, because all of those dudes told on themselves. And I'm talking about the guys that was on the podcast, specifically Big U, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon. They all told on their self on these podcasts. Big U told on himself about the checking in stuff. He had a whole podcast called Checking In. They are getting him for extortion for people checking in. So he told some of that on himself. I think Loose Cannon was a little bit loose with his lips. He told a lot of stuff on a lot of them guys. I don't know if he's actually telling in the feds right now, but I know for a fact he told on those podcasts. From what I heard, Big U giving those guys guns over there, taking serial numbers off, being there for P and B Rock's untimely death, having something to do with Nipsey Hussle. Loose Cannon went up there and was super loose on all those topics, on all that information. You know what I'm saying? So all those guys went up there on the internet, and said some things about themselves. There's no getting around it. There's no refuting that. Those guys went up there and told a lot of information on themselves and on others. And now they're feeling a brunt. They're feeling a brunt. They're feeling the pain of that. It's one thing you talking about, old stuff that don't involve probably things that have no statute of limitations. When you're talking about current stuff, you're talking about current stuff, things that just happened, things that you know you're talking about, people that was unalived, that don't have no statute of limitations. They can come and get you at any time for that stuff. So you come up here on the internet and talk about that, somebody's going to jail. You know what I mean? Yo, Loose Cannon said him and Whack 100 was right there when P and B Rock got killed. They wilding up here. They wilding on the internet. I ain't gonna front. They loose on the internet. Yeah. Loose Cannon is really loose. He went up there and said, "Yo, yeah, we was right there when P and B Rock got killed." What? What you mean? You witnessed the murder? You was there? I know the feds having a field day with Loose Cannon. Listen, if Loose Cannon is not working, if he's not working, if he's not cooperating in that case, then he gotta be one of the dumb. He gotta be one of the dumbest gangbangers of all time. Yeah, or he just don't care. Give me the time. This is what I did. I'm just telling. It's content. This is what I did. He gotta be one of the silliest. Loose Cannon is the silliest gangster I've seen on the internet. He seemed like he kind of tough. I heard he had a fight with Big U in prison. I think him and Brick Baby, they all popped off. Yo, that case is so bad, bro. Them dudes, let me tell you something. If they was on the East Coast, we hearing them squabble. They squabble on the West Coast. They be fighting. If they were co-defendants on the East Coast in New York on Rikers Island, y'all would have heard a lot of shooting. You hear all these dudes over here be getting cut and stabbed up. Y'all heard it with a lot of these guys. They getting hit up. The West Coast, I don't know. They squabbling, they fighting and stuff. Over here, if they was co-defendants going to court on Rikers Island, it would have been different. It's different for these gang guys over here. These guys is cutting each other up. They stabbing each other up. That's just the regular norm, with these co-defendants. And, you have these allegations against you of telling and all. That's what happened in New York. I'm just being honest. They catch you on Rikers Island, you done. They would have definitely clipped them guys, you heard? Your word, Dream Chasers, that's a fact. They been hitting them Cali dudes. They been smoking the East Coast in New York and everybody else with the RICOs. But these RICOs, these RICO cases that the feds be giving these guys now, I see all these gang members. The RICO was made to get the worst people that they couldn't convict. They convicting these gang dudes and they getting, I'm hearing months, probation. I don't know how these gang dudes get slapped on the wrist. I don't understand how they getting it. I'm just being honest. The dudes that I know, that I seen, they getting 10 and better. I don't know how these guys on the East Coast. I know how some of them on the East Coast, they, they they working. So I know how some of these guys is getting this little bit of time, but these RICO cases, they not even made to give you a little bit of time. The RICO law is not even made to get you. So when you get RICO'd, you at least getting minimum 10 and better. At least mandatory 10 and better, at least. At least 10 and better in a federal RICO. These dudes is getting 3 years. I'm hearing 4, 2. We was getting that shit in the 90s when we was kids. I see these old men telling on everybody. They getting 5. They got all kind of drugs, all kind of stuff. They getting 4s and 5s, and they got that in the 90s. It's 2025. If you still getting 4s and 5s and you in a RICO case, man, you was no good. To me, you no good. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care. You is no good to me. In my book, you no good. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Because they not giving up them, them charges, especially with these guys that been in state, already felons, possessing guns, possessing drugs, possessing all this different stuff. That's going to automatically make your, you know, the guidelines. The guidelines for you is going to be so crazy. It's going to be 20, and that's why these dudes be working, because they guidelines. I know they guidelines is crazy. Yo, Pop Out TV, salute. Loose Cannon said he gonna be right back. He get right back to it. Yo, I seen this girl though. She was up there going in on a short. She like, yo, he ain't telling nobody. Yo, listen, girlfriend. I like what you doing. You holding him down and all that. Look a little shaky every now and then, but you holding him down. You holding it down. If he not telling the feds, he definitely told on No Jumper. I'm just being honest. Clarissa, I think that's her name. Clarissa. Maybe he made a mistake and told on Adam 22 on No Jumper. He might have made a mistake. It's a dumb mistake, and it's going to cost him some time. But he definitely told up there. I don't know if he's, cooperating and telling. I mean, he told it on No Jumper. I don't know why he wouldn't tell it again to the feds. You told a story already. You told it on the Fed. You told it on No Jumper. The feds watch it. They're using it as evidence against you. So I don't know. We still got to see what goes on with the case and how the case goes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look good for me though. It doesn't look good to me. Um, But I think Adam 22 as a whole is getting pressured by. I think the government's pressured them, but I think the West Coast is pressuring them. I think the West Coast like, yo, you got to get up out of town. It's over. I think he feeling the heat. He like, yo, listen, they on our bodies, they on our heels. We got to get up out of here. We don't got loose cannon in these cats no more. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, they on our body. Big U might send everybody in here. Send them all, everybody. The whole set. Rush, No Jumper. You never know. You don't know what kind of information he might be getting. This dude got money. These dudes is capping. Talking about they don't got no money. Adam 22, they got money. They got big money. They got big views. Their views are still up. So anything that broke is cap. That broke is cap. So it's, the feds like, yo, shut it down. We hearing the guys. The feds might have told them like, yo, listen, they talking about rushing y'all. Shut it down. They coming for you, Adam 22. I got it in. We got good sources, and we hear they coming for your head. Shut it down. Shut the operation down. We gonna have to pack up. We gonna move. We gonna move. Yo, Ming, what up? Salute. We gonna move No Jumper to another state, Ohio, St. Louis, and we gonna do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? West Coast, it's over. I think the West Coast is on their body. I'm just being honest, you heard? It's too nasty that way. And what Big U said up there before he went in, as far as everybody that's down, getting these clicks and views, got these dudes up there talking, is down with it. When he said those things, you don't know what he said to his people in private. You don't know what they talking about in private. So I think the feds and And them Crips over there, they like, nah, it's over for Adam 22. He like, nah, we got to get up out of here. we getting some bad reports off these LA streets, yeah. I think they got some bad. I think they on his body, I think they on whack body. I think on all their bodies over there. So I think that's the real reason why no jump is being shut down, Imagine now, right, DBN? Imagine now. He told everything already. He told everything already. What's the difference now? I'm just saying, what is the difference? If it's on, everybody is like got this on rewind on every podcast, the stuff he was saying up there. What's the difference? The feds got it already. I mean, what's the difference now? Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa. You let the dirty section, the dirty section be taking heads, you heard? You know what I mean? Pause. The dirty section be getting, I think messing with let me tell you something, man. I liked it, my expert opinion. And what, I liked some of the shows. Um, I liked some of the other members that he had as far as on the panel and what they were doing with the show. I liked it. I liked it, my expert opinion. Um Yo, Sandbox Bully, salute. I think bringing 10 toes and all of them up there, I think a lot of those things that he did, he had a New York hip hop based show, podcast. I think, yo, UNT, yo, Bucks, UNT Network, yo, what up, Bucks? Salute. I think, I think, I think he mismanaged the whole situation. When he got his money, I think he overplayed his hand. I don't think he like took any classes like business management, or I don't think he took none of that, because obviously he doesn't understand how organizations, whether it's a financial organization. I don't think he know. Yo, what up? The link is in the chat. Pull up. What's up? What up, Smitty? Salute to Smitty Rock, man. Happy belated too, bro. The link is pinned. But I don't think Math Hoffa. I don't think I don't think Math Hoffa like understood what he was really doing. He made a lot of different bad moves. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of different bad moves. I think breaking up with a lot of his co-hosts, Champ, Bigger, um, the guys from Bag Fuel. When you run in an organization, when you run in something, um, when you take out foundational pieces of that organization, when you take those out, it changes the structure of your organization. It's no longer the same. And if you noticed the things that all these guys spoke about when they left, Champ was doing a lot for that show, bringing artists. The guys from Bag Fuel, they were doing a lot for that show. They was bringing artists. They was getting artists booked. I think I seen the change in the people that he was bringing up there, and the conversation wasn't really the same. He didn't have the quotables. I don't think he had the same content. I think the whole show changed when he got rid of those panelists. And I liked a couple of guys on his new panel. Um, I like those guys, and I like one of the guy, the main co-host he had up there from Brooklyn, that be rapping. I liked him. I like what he brought to the show. Um, but I think SO and them, I think SO Bigger and Champ, I think he didn't really realize you don't know what you got until it's gone. I don't think he really realized how important they were to the show. I don't think he realized it. And I don't think he realized like the show was the guest. The show was the conversation amongst you know, the co-host of the panel. I don't think the show would have been the same if it was just Matt Hoffa. I don't think he would have came up with all those questions, all those different perspectives, all those different perspectives. I don't think so. Um, I think he really underestimated. I think he overplayed his hand when he got his money. I think he just overplayed his hand. Then he started beefing with the dirty section. On top of that, he started beefing with the dirty section to get over 1 million. You got to remember when he went at the dirty section, talking about eat, eat, eat. Maybe he's talking about eat, eat, eat. Hey yo, yeah, eat, eat, eat. He got over 1 million. He got over 1 million subscribers when he started beefing with Hassan Campbell and the whole dirty section. I was a part of it. All of us, we all was in on it. You know what I'm saying? You had 050 the movement. I think Zip. Everybody was doing a little something against Matt Hoffa at that time. Everybody's subscribers jumped, all the views jumped, and I think as a momentary, it looks good when your numbers are jumping like that. But when you start going live and you arguing and you beefing with dudes on YouTube, I think he changed the content of my expert opinion. I think it changed the whole show. I think it changed the dynamics of the show. The viewers, they didn't want that dirty section arguing. They was tuning in for these good, you know, musical guests he was bringing, these good conversations, unanswered questions from old school rappers, stuff that we always wanted to know, guys that we always wanted to hear from. They didn't want to hear that arguing. I think a lot of people just tapped out when he started beefing with the dirty section. I think a lot of people just tapped out. I think a lot of people tapped out. And I think 10 toes down, them guys, they can get some credit for going over there and being a part of the downfall of my expert opinion. I think they get a little credit for helping to smash to kill, to kill that platform. You know what I'm saying? They've been working to kill a lot of different platforms out here. So it's just regular work as usual with these guys. This is what these guys do, you know what I mean? Um, but I think he didn't really understand. I think he knew that it was gonna be lit because he see what goes on over here with Hassan Campbell and how we deal with and how we deal with each other, how we deal with content. So I think he's seen that, and being a battle rapper, probably what we do over here is closer to who he really is as a person, as a character. Going back and forth, you got to think of some witty stuff to say. Dudes is making videos back to back. Um, Hassan Campbell during that time, he came out with all those different allegations concerning Matt Hoffa and his girl too. That might have rubbed people the wrong way. When you get into these arguments now, people start digging into your history, start throwing stuff out there if it's real or fake, start putting you out there. Um, and I think some DV stuff with his girl. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know they was throwing some stuff out there, like he was doing some stuff. You had Sub Zero talking about he's burning girls. It was wow. It was all kind of the dirty section get on you. It's all kind of gossip. These dudes up here got the gossip, you know. That's one thing about the dirty section. The dirty section is some investigating, digging, gossiping. The gossip girls on this side, they is gonna gossip. They gonna find some tea on you. These dudes, old jail dudes, they got all the tea, you heard? Yeah, I heard he did this over here. I heard he did that. You know what I'm saying? They got Sub-Zero. They tapped Sub-Zero in. They talking about he was knocking off Sub-Zero's girls. The girls talking about stuff is not right anymore. I don't know what's going on. It's nasty. It just got nasty, and I don't think his audience knew any of that stuff, wanted to know any of that stuff, and I think it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It might have rubbed his sponsors the wrong way. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you arguing with Hassan Campbell, 050, the movement? What are you doing? Like, he got tired of it. He's like, yo, I can't take it. Dudes drove him to the dirty section. And the dirty section is I think that's a part of his demise, though. I think that's a part of his demise as well. Um, and the Fat Joe. That whole Fat Joe and the FBA, all that stuff, he had to take the video down. If he took that video down, that means he got a lot of backlash on the things that Fat Joe set up there on that platform that he allowed Fat Joe to say on that platform. I'm just being honest. I think he got a lot. I think he got a lot of negative publicity, negative feedback, because he didn't take a lot of other videos down, but he took that Fat Joe video down. So, and the FBA was trying. FBA, they put out memos, documents. They was trying to get him shut down. You heard? The FBA was going hard. They had a document. Yo, listen, go. You said it's not working. I don't know that. They said, yo, listen, go over there. They said, listen, go over there. Make sure y'all sign the petition on shutting down the Math Hoffa show. That was dumb, you heard? That was a bad move, you heard? Having Fat Joe up there, because you got to remember, right after that, Fat Joe got canceled from the BET performance as well. So they was canceling a lot of stuff on the low that we don't really know about. So he's coming back talking about, they shutting it down. They might have, that barbershop, they might have shut that barbershop down. They might have been getting threats to the bar. You don't know what's going on that we not seeing. The barbershop, he talking about he can't pay it. They might have booted him. They might have booted him. FBA, you don't know what you gotta remember. These people up here is doxing on the internet. They call jobs. They do all kind of weird stuff up here on the internet, man. You get the wrong person to get beef with or feel type of way up here on the internet, man, they're gonna be calling the barbershop, they're gonna be calling the police, they calling everybody, you know what I'm saying? They trying to get you really shut down. They be going hard with it, you know what I'm saying? And there's some people at home, some people watch stuff on YouTube, but then some people just up here wild and they don't even care. I done heard all kind of weird stuff going on the internet, man. So I think between beefing with the dirty section, and don't get me wrong, he took the side of a lot of rats. I'm just being honest. A lot of rats went up there on that platform. A lot of no good, a lot of no good dudes went up there on that platform, and he like sided with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being neutral and being giving an unbiased take on a situation, he was kind of biased for like Troy Ave. I think 6ix9ine was up there. I didn't watch them, but I seen some of the backlash. I didn't really watch the shows, but I seen some of the backlash that he was getting from like putting these characters up there and taking these positions. You know what I'm saying? He took some positions against dudes with these dudes. I think all of those things eroded the whole integrity of the show. I think all of those things together eroded the integrity of the show. And then to top it off, the guys he's bringing up there now, the people that he's bringing up there, the last few people that we seen up there, they wasn't really all that. I mean, I can't even name no notable people he has had on there in the last couple of months that was like really good. Who? I don't even know nobody. I don't even watch. I seen Cormega up there. You know, I like Cormega. I like Cormega music. You know, old school. But I didn't even watch no Cormega. You know, I'll be seeing it going through my timelines. I don't even watch those shows no more. I used to tap into certain stuff. He had good topics, good things. I think the show just lost its whole swag. Let me tell you something. When you get these bags from these companies, we've seen it with Money and Violence. We've seen it with other rap groups. Once you get signed, once you get signed to these bigger corporations, bigger companies, now they have creative control over your content. You see what I'm saying? Only the best deals, only some of the best deals don't have, you know, somebody in the office controlling their content. Only the best deals. And sometimes even with the better deals, they still can argue with you as far as what they want to release, the direction that they want to go in. Once they give you that bag, they try to take over. And a lot of times it kills whatever content it was. Like Money and Violence. They got that money. They got that money. And the show was never the same. I didn't even see the show no more. I ain't even Money and Violence just went away. It wasn't even nothing like it used to be. So I think that might have affected that bag. Once they got that bag, the creative control, the people that behind the scenes that was controlling things, they probably changed things up a little bit. Um, I know for a fact, Esso, Heineken, Bigger, Champ, losing them dudes, that was a big part. That's a big part of this too. They were helping out. They did a lot of stuff that, you know, when you doing it, when somebody's doing something for you and y'all in the mix and y'all getting money, it don't seem like that much. But when it's gone, yo, Nikki, baby, what up? Salute. You know it ain't right if you don't pop out. Salute. You already know Queens get the money. Yeah. Right, Nikki, right. It got personal. But so I think if he did a better job of keeping that stuff behind the scenes, staying on content, staying he brought a lot of that beat. He was answering a lot of questions. I think once he left the content and started addressing Esso and Heineken, he snuck up on them at the show when he went to one of their shows and was talking to them on their show. Like, what are you doing here? Like, is that the ops? Like, what is he? Yo, Esso was like, who is that dude? Is that the ops right there? Like, what is he doing here? I think Angela Yee show. Esso and Heineken went to Angela Yee show. Somebody told Mad Papa that they was gonna be there. He popped up on the couch and started going back and forth. Like, yo, bro, you a stalker. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, when SO seen him, SO was like, yo, is that the I know that's not the ops. I think Heineken. He was like, yeah, I know that's not the ops right there. Like, what is he doing here? What are you doing in our interview, bro? So just for us to be able to see, that's unprofessional. You got your own show, you got big money. Why are you on Angelique Yee's show stalking these dudes? That's level one stalker material right there. That's level one stalker right there. I can't front, man. That's like, what are you doing popping up on shows on other people? Who does that? It shows that you're not focusing on your content. You're focusing on these dudes and what they doing. They got their little show going. They got their little situation going, and they got another interview, and you pop up on their interview. Like, what kind of time is you on? Like, you hating from the sideline. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even like people like that. Not him personally, because I don't know him personally. But I don't even like people that do stuff like that. I don't do no stalky stuff. That's stalky. I don't do no just popping up. Like, what you popping up for like that? Like, it just shows where his head. It shows where his head was at. He was chasing clout instead of the content. He already had the content. You got the show. You got everything that you need. You should have been chasing some new co-hosts. You should have got some good co-hosts. That's what he should have did. He should have got some better co-hosts. That's what Adam 22 and them did. No jumper. They lost some dudes. They went and got some more different dudes. He should have got some more good dudes. You know what I'm saying? Um, Maybe a DJ switched it up a little bit. Um, he got maybe got some guys. Maybe paid some people. He was trying to be. I think he was trying to be too tight with the bag. You could have paid a nice DJ to go up in there to talk with y'all. Have a DJ in there every now and then, just something different. He could have did so many things, like, but that's what happened. You know what I mean? Um, do I think that show is going broke? Yeah, I think so. I think that show was going broke. His views dropped. His views dropped in front of our eyes. When Mav Hoffa first started going live, he had like 20,000 people in his live. It was like 14,000, 20,000, 16, 18,000 people when he first started going live. Yo, lights out. Who ain't pay the bills? My light is up. My computer. I'll try to catch it. My computer. Oh, let me switch it up. That was my computer room. That was my computer light. Yeah. I was about to say my computer was unplugged. Yeah, but I really think though what he did with that once he started his lives was like 20,000, 14,000. He started beefing with Hassan Campbell, started going back and forth. I think that really showed, because after a while his views dropped. We seen the views drop in front of us from 20,000 in a live, 14,000, 15,000 people in a live. We seen it drop to like 3,000, 6,000. At first it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot of people, 20,000. And for him to have a million subscribers, or at that time like 990,000, 20,000 is it's about right. Yo, all legend, yo, what up? So look, see you doing good work over there, man. I'm still tapped in. Um, I've been just busy. I've been doing a lot of work, on my companies and my business, my other businesses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's why I ain't been popping out. But I'm gonna be here more often, you know what I'm saying? But I think once Hassan Campbell started consistently having more people in the building than Matt Hoffa, it was over then. Yo, Great God, what up? I think it was over then. I think it was over then. He just didn't see it. He just didn't really notice it. But there's no way that him having Hassan Campbell having less than half his subscribers having more people in his live than Mav Hoffa, when Mav Hoffa has all the celebrity connects. He has a real history in hip hop, even though he wasn't a big rapper. He was a well-known battle rapper. Um, so I don't think it should have been no comparison between Hassan Campbell and Mav Hoffa. But that's the YouTube streets for you. I see dudes coming up here that got names, that really got street names, and they can't get views. They can't really, they can't really do nothing as far as views concerned because the YouTube is different than just street credibility is out of the window now. Now you have to talk, especially like we do, like podcasts like myself do, when we have to come up here and just talk to you without hosts. Sometimes we have co-hosts, sometimes we have guests, sometimes we do interviews, but most of our content is just us giving our reactions. It's more personality, it's more character. You gotta have character, you gotta have really. If I came up here and spoke to y'all all the time and everything was foolishness, then you wouldn't be here for long. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't. I just think he lost. He lost in the bigger picture against the dirty section, against Hassan Campbell in the dirty section. He lost, obviously. Um, I don't think dudes want to see him like his podcast come down. I know I didn't want to see that. I didn't. I liked a lot of his interviews. Some of that stuff I didn't rock with. I'm subscribed to his channel still. Um, but I think he just did too much. I think he overplayed his hand, and one, he was so high up. I think coming back down and punching down, you had to come down. And once he came down, then it was over. He should have stayed up where he was at. As far as he should have invited what see what he should have did when he bring 10 toes up in it. You know what would changed that podcast is if he brought all the New York podcasters to there, because Hassan Campbell he did a lot for Math Hoffa's channel, as far as he had Hassan Campbell up there a few times, and you know that helped that platform a lot as well. I think he should have just stayed on that type of time, and over personally arguing. I think him personally arguing on the internet took a lot away from that show. Took a lot away from the professionalism of that show. Um, and I think once you you can't put it back. You can't put it back. Once you take that out the box, then you can't put it back. He wasn't able to, put it back. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. AP got a lot of views. Yeah, right. Word up. But I think he lost his bread and butter with getting legendary interviews, good conversation up there with guys. Um, I think he just lost his swag on that. Um, and the guys that he's been bringing up there lately, they ain't been moving the needle. He needed some. I don't know. I think he needed more controversial people. Um, Maybe some guests that we didn't see coming. Like some different views and stuff that we didn't see coming. I seen Phoebe Afar. He had everybody, a lot of guys from New York up there, Rowdy Rebel, Fabio Foreign and all of them. I see him. He had all of them up there, but I think he just could have did better. He could have did better with, but when he lost those co-hosts, when he lost those co-hosts, he lost that swag. That took a lot. That took a lot from him. You know what I mean? Let's see if he could bounce back, and because I know he ain't gonna just quit and give up. Let's see if he could bounce back. But he probably messed that bag up. That bag was probably that deal he had was probably this much money for X amount of time. You have to get this much views. It probably came with strings. I don't think that bag just came like, yo, here, you got this bag, and now we own the name and it's lit. No, those bags come with stipulations. When you get those bags, you gotta do certain things to get all the money. He probably got a little bit of money, a little bit of money, and he's saying he's broke now because they probably pulled that deal. When his views drop, the bag probably dropped. They're like, yeah, all right, let us get this. You know what I mean? You can't get the rest of this money because you ain't uphold your end of the bargain. Your views drop. I hope he bounce back, AP. I hope he do. I don't wanna. I mean, I'm never a dude to come up here and just intentionally hate money. That ain't my style. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't like, even if I don't like your even if I don't like what you might be saying or doing, then I'm not gonna hate on your. I'm not gonna hate on your bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate. I just know. I was just raised like that. I wasn't raised to be a hater. OG Product, the top crockers in the building. Yo, what up, OG Product, man? What you been doing, man? You been popping out lately, man. What's up? Scheme is happy, right? Yo, he hate Math Hopper from his blog. He hate him. The top crockers in the building, man. Yo, good looking on popping up the super chat, man. But yeah, I don't be hating on nobody bag, man. I ain't that ain't my style. I want to see people get money. I want to see people get rich. And just the jewel for y'all, if you don't want to see anybody else rich, if you want to see people broke, then that's just the energy that the universe is gonna send back to you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be broke. You ain't gonna have no money. So I don't never hate. I don't never wish failure on nobody. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish no failure. I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't put that energy out there at all. You know what I mean? Because I know that's only going. That's only what I'm gonna get. You know what I mean? So I don't never do that. You heard? Yeah, Scheme definitely think everybody owe him something. You heard? What happened to Scheme? I ain't see Scheme in like a year. I ain't see Scheme in like a year, but yeah, I try not to hate on nobody bag, you know what I'm saying? I just get my own money, stay focused on my own bread and putting good energy out there, you know what I'm saying? Trying to keep some good energy out there and to get my own money. But yeah, I think homie, I think he started hating. He started showing that he was a hater though, Math Hoffa too. Hating on SO, hating on other guys, champ, going back and forth, messed the whole show up. MOB, what up? Just being honest, you know what I'm saying? For real, man. But yeah, man, I hope he bounced back, man. I hope he needs to get some more new co-hosts, some guys with their own energy, their own voices. Probably get a couple of hip hop legends up there. Why don't he get like a what's the old head name? What's the old head name from Queensbridge? MC Shan. He should get MC Shan up there, you heard? MC Shan be talking a lot of mess, you heard? You gotta give a couple dollars out. See, these dudes be trying to be too selfish with the bag. Get a legend up there, give him some money every episode, give him a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? Get his opinion up there, get him up there. You know, he could have had a whole different look. He could have had a better look for New York. That could have been, I think he could have did a lot with that podcast and it would have went through the roof. You know what I mean? Hopefully he see this, you know what I'm saying? He get a couple of guest appearances from some OGs. What's up, boy? Get a couple of guest appearances from OGs. What you doing over here, sucker? Hey, close your legs, sucker. What you doing? What you doing over there, sucker? Shorty be over there wilding, you heard? What you doing, man? He see somebody, he bust it open. You busting it open? What you doing? Shorty see somebody bust it open. You was a cold freak. Shorty is crazy. Right. But them subs don't mean nothing if somebody ain't watching no more. If nobody watching your channel, you got 1 million subs. Yeah, you right about that, Great God. But I think he should bring some guest hosts up there. He should just rebrand the show, restart it over. I would get some of these old timers I would get a guest appearance from this guy, a guest appearance as a host. Talk about some of the topics as far as whoever the artist that's coming up. Give some hip hop. You get the street. You get I think it'd have been better for him. He should have got a couple of these guys from the dirty section to come up there. You know what I mean? These dudes is doing good, you know. The Hassan Campbells. You see how these dudes, like you see how Adam 22 and the Vlad dude is like doing a lot of work together. They going on each other's show. They trying to give what they doing is pooling their assets and their resources. That's what a community does. You don't have a community if you're not sharing assets and resources. That's essential to having a community. Adam 22 know, I mean, excuse me, Vlad know that Adam 22 is down on his luck. That's why Vlad been coming to his show. If you notice, Vlad was up there. He was on the show. He was a guest. Then he went to Adam 22, went over there. They trying to ping pong each other's subscribers and to get their views back up, trying to capitalize on the controversy, which is smart. But a lot of these other guys, instead of beefing on our side, like Math Hoffa and Hassan, they started beefing. And you know, China and Zip and all these guys that was, you know, in the beef, he should have recruited everybody. He should have recruited everybody. He should have recruited everybody. If he would have recruited everybody, then you know, I think that would have gave more validity and power to him. He would have looked like a major player because you organized all the bug outs. If he organized the bug outs, because these guys is good. You know, they're good. You know, they got their own little lanes. Everybody got their own lanes. Everybody got their own voices, on their own backgrounds and street credibility or whatever you want to say. These guys got it already. You know what I mean? They got their own little movements, their own little stuff going on. So I think would have only gave power and credit if he brought some of these guys to the table. I think that would have been a good look for the show. You know what I mean? A different couple of podcasters every time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna bring this dude up here, that dude on this show. Got he could have brought everybody out. He could have brought Scheme up there, China, everybody. He knows Scheme. He know China now. I know he know China and them. He could have brought Harlem. He could have brought all these dudes up there. Zip, Hassan Campbell, y'all podcasting. You know what I mean? These dudes, they numbers is moving. They doing their thing. They subs is up. You know, they not up. They not up there by him. But you know, you've been out here. These dudes is, we got dudes coming from prison, do all kind of different stuff was going on with these dudes for the last 20 years, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sandbox bully. I think that would have been a good look. I think if he would have did something like that instead of like beefing and going at dudes, because obviously, see, this is what I don't like. For you to start mentioning dudes and you know dudes is here, that means you dudes is moving. For dudes to be moving and you don't be like, yo, listen, y'all doing that, y'all don't got no podcast, y'all doing this shit out y'all crib. Why don't y'all pull up? We give y'all a day in the barbershop, y'all could do this. It would have changed everything. It would have changed the whole thing. Yo, Zip, come over here for a guest appearance. China, Harlem, come over here for a guest appearance. We want you. We gonna have Fat Joe. We gonna have this dude or that dude. You know what I'm saying? And some of these mistakes, when you got different eyes and different ears, some of these mistakes can be caught. So a lot of the mistakes that he made, and even like, recruiting other artists and rappers, because a lot of these guys already got connections with a lot of other people. They own artists and different things and different perspectives. I think would have gave new energy to the show, and I think would have helped the show out. So instead of him going at dudes and using dudes to beef with, I think he should have gave dudes an opportunity to get into the limelight and helped more people out. I think it would have changed the energy of the show, and I think everything. But if he did that, then he wouldn't be Math Hoffa. He wouldn't be Math Hoffa if he did that though. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Get the top crock up there talking that shmoney, talking that shmoolah. You know what I'm saying? Talking that shmoney. Get the top crock up there. You heard? I would like. I would. I ain't mad when I seen Soul B, Ten Toes Down, Bimmy, and all of them up there. Um, Jamel Saladin. I wasn't mad. I was. I wasn't. I was laughing that they used the opportunity to talk about the dirty section. They went up there and talked about China, Zip, Everybody else except their own self and what they got going on. That was the dumbest move. I ain't gonna lie. That was the dumbest move. Because the dirty section made it out of the dirty section. You know what I'm saying? Besides Hassan Campbell, to the big. Once they let big. Once they let toes up there, it was over, you heard? It was over. It was over. 10 toes. Oh man, these dudes from the dirty section is crazy. They get their biggest opportunity. They go up there and talk about China, zip. They was wilding. Yeah. That was the stupid. That was the dumbest move ever. Yeah. I can't. I cannot front. Yeah. That was the dumbest move ever, bro. Wake it up, shorty. Hey, hey, what you doing, man? The top building. Yo, shorty, see anybody, he busted open. He is crazy. You heard? The top croc is in the building. Yo, good looking, man. Yeah, man, but he should have linked up with the peoples, man. He should have connected all the dots, man. He had the opportunity for that. He took some losses with the guys that he had up there. Um, I think it would have gave his show another edge. You know what I'm saying? I think it would give another edge. You know what I mean? And it gave him some power. He could have made a show about just embracing the podcasters and embracing the guys that's trying to make a living, an honest living up here on YouTube, that's coming home from prison and stuff like that. He could have talked about that. I think people would have liked to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We all got our own little movement. We all had our little glimpses of success and greatness out here. We all got our little moments of viralness. You know what I'm saying? So he know who dudes is. These dudes know who dudes is. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. I know these dudes know me, but these dudes knows who dudes are. You know what I mean? Yo, Mike Velez, what up? But I think homie just he dropped the ball in that. You heard? Word up, man. But I hope he bounced back, man. I hope Math Hoffa bounced back, man. Hopefully, somebody share this with Math Hoffa. Send it to his inbox. Somebody send it to his inbox and tell him, like, yo, listen, take some of these ideas, man. You know what I mean? Get some old school rappers up there with you. Get some of the old dudes, OGs, put some money in their pocket, a couple dollars in their pocket so they can get some money. It'll give you show a different perspective. Still get your artists and all that stuff. Get your little street element, get your little street guys in there. And you're gonna get some money. You're gonna get some money, man. Just stay on point. Some new ideas. You got to get some new energy in there. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to stay up here all night. I just popped out to salute y'all, say what's up, and let y'all know, you know, the dirty section shut Math Hoffa down, man. It's a little delayed reaction, but we seen it coming, you heard? But you already know what it is, man. It's Mr. Hood Love, Mikey Bing. To the next one, man. I'll probably pop out tomorrow. I got some more stuff for y'all. You know what I mean? I'll probably pop out on y'all tomorrow, you heard? Yeah, show some love, man. If y'all ain't hit that like button, man, hit the like button on the way out, man. Share the live, man. You already know what it is, man. Mr. Hood Love, Mikey B, man. Salute.